Hello everybody, how's it going? So welcome to my review of One Piece chapter 1077. Another chapter goes by without a reveal of Stella, and let's get right into it. The cover page, this was a Vinsmoke cover story, so I'm going to get any information when it comes to like the Gorosei and Vegapunk's connection, how Saturn is tied to Vegapunk. So it goes back to Judge and Caesar, and they've stopped arguing and stopped fighting each other, stopped knocking lumps on one another, and they realise Vegapunk was the cause of all this. Meanwhile, probably the funniest part about this, you have EGG and Ranger in the background. Now, is this a clear-cut indicator that this cover story is going to end? Because I kind of want the cover stories where we got the reveal of Aokiji and Pudding being captured by Blackbeard. Those are the cover stories I kind of want to get, unless we actually get something of substance when it comes to Vegapunk and the Gorosei. But speaking of Vegapunk, we go into the lab of Vegapunk, Fabio, and we have, well, outside I should say, because we have Sentomaru being confronted by the underlings of his and asking why he's deploying pacifistas here. Once again, we get another brief of O'Hara, the O'Hara incident. So Sentomaru is acting as the narrator, as Oda trying to describe O'Hara as, I guess it's for new viewers or new readers that haven't got this far, so here you go. So if you forgot what happened, here's a refresher. Either way, they keep on teasing that something just like it is on its way, because we know Kizaru and Saturn, 100 warships are heading their way. So the danger is yet to come, but the threat inside the arc is what's intriguing right now. And if you technically think about it, I actually think this refresher here kind of like foreshadowed the ending of this chapter, which I'll get into. But Sentomaru says this whole place will be destroyed once they arrive, so he already knows that something bad is about to go down, because they're willing to erase the greatest mind in the world in Vegapunk. Well, that's another indicator though. So it cuts to Lucci and Luffy using the combo attack. Lucci using the Yellow Lotus, and it's obviously some time has passed, because both Zoro and Luffy look like they've taken some damage. And Luffy in Gear 4 uses Kangan to strike Seraphim Kuma, which doesn't really do much, and as Kaku and Zoro use their combo attack, it's pretty epic, but it still didn't get the job done. Like, they're still standing, and even Luffy's like, yeah, what the hell, they're getting up way too easily. They're like durable like Kaido. But then that actually triggers Zoro to mention something about King, which I'm glad he did, because this brings up a conversation about with Shaka revealing, oh, Albert, the underling of Kaido, his Lunarian race, or DNA, is shared with the Zephyrians. And so this is where Zoro brings up the weakness, because when the flames are up with the Lunarians, they're invincible, but when they don't have the flames, they're open to attack, and now everybody knows this. But there is a comedic moment in this, because there wasn't much about King that I remember, other than the fact that he had brown skin, white hair, black wings, and his flames were on the back, and you got Lucci, Kaku, and Luffy saying, yo, put it together sooner, wouldn't ya? Shaka says he's going to go up to find Stella because he thinks he knows where Stella is. Suspicious considering where he goes by the end of this chapter, but I'm getting to that as well. Zephyr and Mihawk tries to attack Shaka, but then Zoro blocks it, so we got a Zoro-Mihawk rematch, so good. This is actually one of my favourite parts of the entire chapter. Seeing Nami doing her thing. It looked like Brooke and Edison have been taken down. I don't know if Edison's been destroyed, but Nami gets pissed because she's like, we can't treat him like a kid. Let's go, Zeus. So that she's about to attack Zephyr and Jinbei. Very sus panel here from Oda, with Nami attacking. Pretty good ass shot, I will say, from Oda. So she goes in. We see Brooke has been laid out. Edison's been taken down. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if he's been destroyed. While Nami's about to attack, unleash Zeus, Nami's like, he's definitely a kid, he's not cute at all. While she's about to attack, she's having hesitation, because number one, he looks like Jinbei, and number two, he resembles a kid. So I like this from Nami. We got this, the last time we got this from Nami, it was kind of a similar deal. I said it's because he looked like a kid, and Nami still attacked anyway. Outside of looking to attack Ulti, we really didn't get this side of her. We don't get this side of Nami very much. So this is a breath of fresh air. Zeus comes out, loses that Thunderbolt to attack Zephyr Jinbei, but much like the other Zephyr, he's still standing after the attack. And again, Nami apologizes to Jinbei because but then Seraphim Jinbei uses the swim fruit from Senor Pink to go into the ground, much like he did the previous time. Brook notices this. He's gone, Nami, run, he's gone down below. So Brook comes in, slices Jinbei, and then there's creeds you need to follow by. 1, anyone who threatens Nami-san will face punishment. This is exactly what Sanji and Robin said when Nami was last attacked by Zephyr and Jinbei. And the other decree is anyone who makes her scream, here comes Sanji with Jumbo, strike. So that was actually pretty cool. It lands on Jinbei. I don't know if that got the job done, but it got the message across because Sanji's like, yo, I don't care if you are a spitting image of Jinbei, I'll be a judge, jury, and executioner. That was a core ass line by Sanji, I won't lie. But then it cuts away to the third building where we go over to Lilf using a bubble gun to attack Zephyr and Hancock, which I said this was going to break it down to a fight, even though Lilf said we don't stand a chance. Because Lilf had what she needed because the bubble gun she used has because of the properties of the green blood that's inside the Zephyrium. It's basically similar to the devil fruit users, so that's their weakness. So the bubble gun's a smart move. It leaves Boa Hancock vulnerable because she's acting like an innocent child when she's struck by this thing. And it's actually working because Frankie's about to come in, and then out of nowhere, Boa Hancock actually recovers quickly and actually kicks Frankie. She comes in with a pacifista beam, and she gets ticked off. It looks like Boa Hancock is the only Zephyrium that's showing emotion here. Like the others aren't showing any. Well, I shouldn't say that because Mihawk was kind of grimacing when he was clashing with Zoro. So other than that, though, Zephyrium and Boa Hancock have shown the most emotion that we've seen out of the Zephyrium yet. Although I still think there's other Zephyrium out there. Since the bubble from the bubble gun was unleashed, Frankie actually uses the bubble to actually nail Zephyr and Boa Hancock. But then once she's taken down, she's acting innocent again. Oh, this is agonizing. And Frankie's completely dumbfounded by this. Zephyr and Boa Hancock tricks Frankie and uses a strike to actually partially turn Frankie into stone. Luffy tries to attack again, but Zephyr and Boa Hancock dodges like a boss and then just turns both Usopp and Lilf to stone. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Because number one, it amounted to Usopp literally doing nothing. And number two, looking at it like an idiot. Because he just stood there and we know Usopp's smarter than this. Lilf and Usopp literally got turned into stone. And then it cuts away immediately to where Shaka goes to the containment area where Vegapunk and the rest of the CP0 agents have been, that we saw, locked up in the previous chapter. He arrives, but it doesn't last long. But Shaka says, I thought it can't be you Cypherpole agents. I thought you would come and gone ages ago. So he doesn't know what's going on either, which was the cue for the mysterious assailant to pull out a pistol and actually shoot Shaka in the head. So I don't know if that helmet is going to do anything, but it looked like it hit big time. So this mysterious assailant has a gun, shoots Shaka to end the chapter. I don't know if Shaka's actually dead, because we still literally saw this with Sentomaru got pierced by one of Lucci's attacks and Sentomaru survived. So I don't know if it's going to be pretty difficult for him to come back from this one, because he got literally shot through the brain. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's a mysterious assailant carrying a gun, so that's a problem. At the beginning of the chapter, we literally got another refresher course about O'Hara, about that O'Hara incident. This has been the second chapter in a row, and I don't know how many multiple chapters. We literally got this in chapter 1066, being foreshadowed for Robin to reunite with Sol on Elbaf. So, but Oda has made it a point to keep planting this in our heads that something similar to what happened on O'Hara with their Buster Call is most likely going to happen here, because they're literally trying to wipe out Vegapunk. And that was pretty much the prelude to the ending of this chapter, because if you remember, Professor Clover ended up getting shot by Cypherpole back when the Gorosei were in communication with him. She said, we can't let you search in the void history, so off you go. So that's literally the catalyst for what happened with the Buster Call. It started there. I can't help it find it suspicious. It starts with a gun, which this could be Cypherpole related, because members, like I said, Cypherpole do have a history of using guns. And Lucci literally told Shaka that their goal is to eliminate all 7 Vegapunks. Eliminate them all. So why is Vegapunk being captured instead of being shot? Because Shaka said that he knew where Stella was, and the next time we see him, it's literally in this containment area where Vegapunk is captured. Very suspicious. It could be just a red herring from Oda just to keep us thinking, but I don't know why it wouldn't be anyone but Stella at this point. I don't know why Stella would be someone new if you're trying to hide him this long. If you're trying to hide that identity this long, it wouldn't. Like I said in the last review, it wouldn't hit as much if it was somebody we didn't know. And with this, or Stella may not be the assailant after all, and maybe he's been taken, maybe he or she have been taken out because we still don't know. This ending of this chapter solidifies one thing to me crystal clear. I don't know what happened to Bonney. I don't know if she got attacked as well when Vegapunk disappeared and got captured. But we haven't seen Bonney since she was looking at inside the memories of Kuma. That's the last time we saw her. So why wasn't she captured, or was she shot too? Or is Jory Bonney gonna find out what happened about her dad's past and then make a decision? And Bonney's the one to not only free Vegapunk and actually, but help out the Straw Hats too, because there was something that Vegapunk stated when Cypherpole was at the height of the invasion when they first arrived. Vegapunk said, "If I don't think I gave something to you, something," but then he got kind of cut short because he had regrets about not telling Bonney the truth because he couldn't. But we need to find out why he couldn't through Kuma's memories. What was so bad about that? And Oda's done a phenomenal job with the way he's handled Bonney so far. So I kind of think that maybe Bonney has something to do with the solution to this, because who else at this point? Because right now Luffy, Lucci, and Zoro and Kako are tied up. I don't find it a coincidence that another reference to O'Hara was made and we didn't get to see Robin in this chapter. So I think the discovery she made could also have a key factor. What she said about organoids could play a role in this as well. I still believe that. So we'll have to wait and see this. Like I said, it's not cut and dry when it comes to Oda and this mystery, so I like that. So I get the feeling that because it literally cut away real quick, that either Frankie, because we did get to see if Frankie was fully turned to stone. He was turning into stone, but we didn't see if he actually got turned fully to stone. Real quick, and it cuts to Usopp and Lilith being turned to stone. So maybe he's still able to do something, or because the bubble gun was used, maybe Jinbei could show up because of what we saw on Wano. Jinbei using the water that Raizo used and stored in a scroll and used that to almost drown the devil fruit users back in Onigashima. You remember that? So maybe he could do something similar here. Because we saw Sanji literally go to where Nami was at against Zephyr and Jinbei. So maybe it's something similar where Jinbei shows up to help out Frankie, Usopp, and Lilith. I didn't like the way that Usopp was handled in this chapter, because we know Usopp's a lot smarter than this, and he just stood there and literally did nothing. Especially after what happened with Onigashima. Like, you talk about some of the characters who got shafted in Wano, like Usopp's up there, literally closer and closer to Elbaf. So not really a good look. This chapter was fine. It was like kind of like building you up on the suspense of who's behind all this, and now he's got a pistol, or he or she has a pistol, so we don't know. But I'm guessing sooner rather than later we're going to get the reveal, and it's probably going to blow our minds much like it did Shaka's mind in this chapter. So that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the review if you did, a thumbs up, I appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Thanks guys. Bye.